Hey guys, this is Doug Giles with Creative Restorations, and as promised, I have another shoe video. But this one's going to be slightly different than the shoe videos that you're probably used to. Today's video is going to be about these. Now, this is a Bass & Company penny loafer that I just picked up at Goodwill, and as you can see, they were $6. Okay. Reason why I got them is, like I said, we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay. You guys are used to seeing us, seeing Steve with Beato's Leather take a pair of shoes and make them look beautiful, completely, tear them apart, and you're used to seeing Preston with the Elegant Oxford, and he makes shoes look beautiful too. But Steve and Preston, while they do fantastic work, typically what they're showing you are really decent shoes. They're starting off with good stuff. So the question at hand is, well, what's good stuff? Now, like I said, these are Bass & Company, and I know that they're a pretty popular brand. I've actually owned some Bass & Company shoes in the past, before I got into Allen Edmonds shoes, and I always thought Bass & Company was decent. But you know what? I've never seen anybody's video pulling them apart, and so we're gonna pull a pair completely apart. And when I say completely apart, I mean we're gonna get intimate with these things. I mean we're gonna know what it ate for dinner. So these shoes originally, let's see, I pulled this up on the tablet a little bit ago, and I'm going to show you right quick. These shoes, these are the penny loafers, and these shoes originally sold for $89.99. That's their current price on Bass's website right now, $89.95. So, $90 for a pair of shoes. Are they worth $90? Well, that's what we're going to find out. So, let's get into it. So, to start off with, we've got a stamp on the inside. It says, leather uppers and outers made in El Salvador. So, these shoes, can you see that in there? A little right in there, it says made in El Salvador. All right. Were they handmade? Who knows? Let's read what Bass says about these shoes. Let's see what Bass has to say about these shoes. On their website, description and details, it says Bass is a leader in genuine hand-sewn moccasin construction, the form of shoemaking that is recognized worldwide as uniquely American. Since 1876, G.H. Bass & Company has been crafting moccasins with the goal of crafting the best shoes in the world. These artisan shoes, hand-stitched, full-grain leather styles, are uniquely comfortable, durable, and flexible. Our Walter penny loafer is the perfect addition to any wardrobe. You can be confident in knowing that you're investing in a pair of shoes that you can rely on for decades to come. Genuine leather upper. Classic flat strap styling. Flat strap styling refers to the way that the penny loafer is stitched flat to the sides of the shoe. Classic mock stitching, synthetic stock lining, unlined, channel sole stitch, genuine leather outsole with rubber heel, hand sewn, imported, and available in wide width. Okay, so that's what Bass says about their shoes. Well, that's nice. That's what the manufacturer says about their shoes. What do we have to say about their shoes? Alright, so we're going to start. Let's start by, we're going to pull out a sock liner. Let's see what we can see on the inside of here. It's stuck pretty good. Alright, already I see nails inside of here, which, that's cool. So it's got nails. Nails going through the footbed into the heel block, which, like I said, that's cool. And a lot of foam in here. I'm kind of curious about this this footbed in here. What that footbed is made out of. Alright, so we got nails on the inside. Can you see them? Going around in here, and that's holding the heel lift and heel to the footbed. So we know we got that. I'm going to grab us a screwdriver. Alright, there we go. And as I suspected, the heel block is paper. There's our nails coming through. I see stitching on here. It appears to be a 360-degree stitch. Welted. You got what looks like stitching right here on the welt, but that's I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think that that's real, especially when you consider that if you look deep inside of there, I see stitches as though this is Blake stitched. So is it Blake stitched? Yeah, it's Blake stitched. There's our thread right here for our Blake stitching right there. So let's keep on pulling this thing apart. Can we get those nails to move? Nah, we're not gonna get them to move. I don't have a last like a cobbler would, but that's all right. You know what? I got other stuff. So let's first see if we can get a razor in between here. Well, that's not cutting anything. How are we going to get into this? We know it's Blake stitched. Here we go. So we're cutting these stitches along here. I'm going to show you what's on the inside, because like I said, we're going to completely destroy these shoes. I went to Goodwill and I bought shoes just so you guys can watch me tear them apart. How you like that? This is either going to be a good video, or I'm an idiot for going out there and buying shoes that I'm just going to tear apart. Actually, you know what? I don't know that I would be an idiot for doing it. I mean, look, people go out there and buy fireworks and just set them on fire. Thousands and thousands of dollars on fireworks just to burn their money away. So, is this any worse than buying fireworks? Alright, we got a fake welt. A fake glued-on welt. It appears as though our stitching kind of stops right there, but let's finish. Let's finish deconstructing this portion. Can you guys still see what I'm doing here, or are my hands in the way? Alright, I see something already that's kind of interesting. And I'll show you guys in just a moment here. Let me finish cutting these last few stitches here. Oh, no, never mind. I spoke too soon. I don't see what I... Ah, yes, I do. I do see what I thought I saw. I'll show y'all in a second, because I'm almost there. Okay, I just cut my last stitch here. My last stitch, if you can see, is right here, which lines up to that stitch hole. This stitch hole right here. That was the last stitch that I pulled out. But if you look, we've still got stitches that look like they continue on. That's kind of curious. Why would you do that? Here's our nails. Ow. That kind of hurts. Those nails don't want to give up. I'm sure there's a cobbler out there watching this right now that's laughing his butt off at me, saying that's not how you do it. You don't want to give up, do you? We had one nail that pulled completely through. Am I going to be able to get these out? Let me see. If there's camera shake here from me beating on this, forgive me. Didn't want there to be, but there is. I don't think this is going to pull them out. Nope. I might pull that one out, but nope, that one's already pulled out. Hang on a second, be right back. I'm going to use my vise. There we go. We got it. We got it. Alright, so there's our upper. There's our sole. The sole uses a fake... Let's pull these nails out of here so I don't give myself... So I don't kill myself. They don't want to come out. Those nails out, and we will pull these nails out from the other direction. Yeah, I don't know how you cobblers do this. I don't like doing this. Yeah, actually, I do kind of like doing this. This is fun. Destruction is fun. Get me a t-shirt made up that says "Destruction is fun." And one freaking nail just don't want to come out. Why don't you want to come out? Did you go out the other way? Well, fine. You stay in there. All right. So here's our footbed. We'll take the footbed out. The footbed appears to be some type of synthetic material, not unlike cardboard. They put a filler in here. I guess that's where your shank would normally go. But this is paper as well. Paper footbed. So far I'm not impressed. There we go. Here's the part. Paper. Alright. There was another experiment I wanted to do right quick with the with this heel block. This is, like I said, this is paper. Now, let's see if we can get this thing apart. We might do it with our fingers. Yeah, get on it with this. There we go. Alright, so I want to do a little experiment with this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off a piece or cut off a piece. Let's see. There we go. Alright, there's a piece of it. Now what I have here is water. This is just ordinary water, okay? I want to take and put our piece in there, and we're going to let this soak in here and see what happens to this by the time we're done with our video. So that's just going to stay there. We'll come back to that. So getting back to our heel, like I said, piece of rubber. We got a paper sole footbed. Looks like it might be kind of reinforced. No, it's not even reinforced. Just paper. We got a paper heel block. We got a fake welt on here. So let's see if we can get this welt off. It appears as though this welt is nothing more than glued on. Let's see, get underneath there. Trying not to stab myself with the screwdriver. Can you get underneath there? Alright, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this off, but basically this is just a hard rubber. It does appear as though it's stitched on. Like I said, it's a Blake stitch, and it appears as though our stitch, let me grab a Sharpie from over here. Our Blake stitch goes from right here to around right here. So basically what they did is they stitched this directly onto the footbed, our footbed right here, which is paper. The inside, well, I really didn't see, yeah, it went completely through this portion. There really is no, this is actually our footbed. our sock liner. This is looks like some kind of transition piece. We've got a leather sole. The leather itself, I mean, it looks decent enough. It doesn't look like it's any better than some of the Herman Oak leather that I have for holster making and that kind of thing. Looks like it's just a veg tan leather. Okay, but we got a plastic welt with a fake stitch line here. Like I said, so far not really impressed. This sock liner is, you know what, is it leather? Let's find out. Let's find out if this is leather. We're going to take a piece of this where there's none of that foam on there. We're going to give this the burn test. Is it leather? If it's leather, it shouldn't burn. I believe this is a bonded leather, which means this is synthetic. They're calling it leather. Leather fibers that are bound together by glue. Alright, that was fun. Let's get into this some more. Let's get rid of this nail. Get rid of this nail on the inside of here. Because again, don't want to poke myself. Alright, there was that final stubborn nail. Our nails that... There's our ring shank nails. Got a total of 6, 7 of them. I would assume that's going to be about the case. They probably use a machine that drops all of these nails, drives all these nails in at one time. Lovely. So, let's get into the construction of the upper. Get back to our X-Acto knife here. And let's start deconstruction. That's Cajun for deconstruction, by the way, in case you were curious. Deconstruction. I'm just kidding. It'd probably help if I had a little bit sharper X-Acto knife, but oh well, this will do. I'm just cutting thread. You guys see what I'm doing here? That's an email. It appears as though they used basically a double-sided tape to hold this piece onto here. Which, not the end of the world. It's no big deal. That's fairly common when building stuff with leather. It's a quick way to hold stuff together that's going to be stitched. Where glue isn't necessarily needed for a real tight bond on it. You guys see? Bring it over this side. We're going to deconstruct this side. So far, I am not terribly impressed with the way these bass shoes are made. But we're going to test. We're also going to test this leather that they're using for the uppers, because again, although it looks like leather, I don't necessarily believe or know, I don't actually know if this might actually be, again, bonded leather. Okay. This might actually be some type of bonded leather where they, again, use, they go in with basically leather fiber and put it together in a bonding material, lay it out on some kind of substrate. I'm guessing they can peel it away or something like that, that substrate afterwards. Alright, yeah, that's 2 bits of tape right there where they actually set that down on there before they stitch that closed. Alright, so that's that. Let's get the, what is the next bit to come off of here? Okay, next bit to come off is going to be our Vamp and toe box. So we'll cut this stitch. This leather just really has a heavy plastic feel to it. Oh. Well, that's no good. I mean, it just tore right there. Let's see if we can get this thing back on track, and because I don't want it tearing. I want to try to kind of keep these pieces together all in one. I want to tear up the stitches, not the main body of it. Not the upper. But that leather just tore. That leather should not have torn. That's a good indication as to where you'd probably start having problems with these shoes if you bought them. Forgive me, you probably can't see what I'm doing in here. All I'm doing is cutting stitches that make up this moccasin portion. Can you see what I'm doing here? Almost done with it. All right. There's our Vamp piece. You can tell where they did the finish of this after this shoe was constructed, after it was completely assembled. And it looks like we got one more piece that comes off of this, and then we'll know everything that we need to know about this, at least how it's constructed. But we still don't know what it's made of. Now on their website they said leather. They use the word leather. But we're going to get to that in just a bit, because the word leather does not mean what you think it means. Okay, so we got that. We'll get back to this piece too. One more piece that's got to come off, and that is for our heel. We got this piece here, and we got this piece around here. So this shouldn't take but a minute. Alright, so we got that off, and it looks as though we got a piece underneath. Pull that out of there, might you. Alright, we got a little piece here. It looks as though they added this piece. This piece was not added to bulk it up or anything like that. It almost appears as though they added this to keep your stitches from pulling through. Let's pull this off next. Goes the washing machine. We almost have this shoe completely deconstructed now. Alright, there we go. So this piece was wrapped around. And again, I mean, this leather just seems so uniform and plasticky. Uniform in thickness and plasticky. I mean, and we got this little piece that they put on. Like I said, this almost feels as though, because this is just, that's not there to add any bulk or anything. I mean, that's how thin it is. It's not really adding any bulk. So what's it there for if not to keep the stitches from pulling through? Maybe it's because this stitch line right here is so close to the edge that they wanted to beef it up a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, last piece, heel counter is the last piece to come off. No stiffener in the heel counter. stab myself with an X-Acto knife. Alright, there we go. Heel counter. No stiffener in the heel counter whatsoever. We got a zigzag stitch, which that's not uncommon either. Well, we got a piece on the inside. Maybe they put a stiffener on the inside. Let's find out. We will just break this stitch going all the way down. Alright, so that broke that stitch. Alright, this inside piece is just glued in. This is not, it wasn't even stitched in. It was just glued in. No stitch there whatsoever. On either side, you can see right here. Can you see that? This piece right here that joins in the back was not stitched at all. It's just glued in. Again, no stiffener whatsoever in the heel. No stiffeners whatsoever in the toe box. More emails. Look at there. Somebody trying to sell me something on eBay. How you like that? You ever get those emails from eBay where it said, just for you, 5% off? That's lovely. Alright, so there really isn't all that much to this. And again, I mean, the shape of this thing, this is kind of a strange construction on here. Well, not really strange. It's probably pretty normal, but I'm really curious about this stuff that they're calling leather. Really curious about it. So, what I want to do is I want to cut it. I want to cut it and I want to burn it. I want to see what the cross section looks like. Can you guys see that? Can you focus in on this? May have to do our focus afterwards. That just looks awfully strange. That's an applied finish on the top. Can we pull this thing apart? Let's give it the burn test. Does it burn like it's plastic? It doesn't really smell like leather. It smells, has kind of a chemical smell to it. I don't know. Let's get a real piece of leather and see what a real piece of leather does. Now this, I don't want to use that one. Got another one up here. Alright, so this is a piece of Herman oak. No, this isn't Herman oak. This is Tandy leather. But it's veg tan. And we're just going to cut off a little piece of this. I want to kind of see if there's an observable difference. Alright. This leather is kind of smushed down like you know, like it's been finished and everything. I think this is probably just a sprayed on finish. It's probably real leather, but it's probably just a sprayed on finish. And you know, companies can get away with calling stuff leather that isn't actually leather. Well, it is. It has leather fibers in it, but it has glue, and they hold all the fibers together with glue. And technically, they can get away with calling it leather. Same thing with furniture, where you know, they can say all wood construction. Well, all wood and solid wood and There's a couple of other different terms, but they all mean different things in the way that it's constructed. All right, let's give this, I want to give this the scratch test. And I want to check out their finish that they put on here. Is it a dyed finish or is it really just on the surface? How deep does their finish go? Keep in mind my blade is a little on the dull side, so I'm not getting the... Alright, that's about how far down it goes. You can't really tell how far down, but really all I did was scrape away the top finish. And there's a layer of dye underneath it. Again, this is, I've seen this before in some cheaper leathers. It's more like the dye is sprayed onto the top of the leather as opposed to actually dyeing the leather where it's absorbed into the leather. Does that make sense? So the dye is actually just sitting right on the surface. And that's what this seems to be. Now, let's get back to it. Let's count the number of parts. Now, granted, I realize I just cut one up, but let's count the total number of parts that make up this shoe. I don't think that this is the best quality leather that's available. So, you know, if you want to go out and spend 90 bucks on these shoes, you're more than welcome to, but for my money, I don't necessarily think that this is a $90 shoe. Or if it were a $90 shoe, you're basically going to get what you pay for. I'm not crazy about the shoe. Alright, so how many number of parts? We've got the main body of the upper. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll count that as 4 and 5. 6, 7, 8. This was the top of our upper. That's 8. 9. This was on the inside. That's 9. 10. 11. We'll count this as 12 and 13 because we have this foam padding. That's 12 and 13. And then our sock liner, which is going to be 14. So we have a grand total of 14 parts that went in to make that shoe, plus the nails, plus 7 nails. Okay. Do I think it's worth $90? No, I don't. Not my personal opinion. You know, for how long do I think this shoe, let me ask, let's ask this. How long do I think this shoe will last? Well, you saw how quickly this part actually tore away. You know, that went right here. That was that piece. You saw how quickly that tore away, and you can see how very little leather they have actually holding those stitches together. So, I mean, it's gonna, when it fails, this is where it's gonna fail. The stitching and everything everywhere else around on this thing seem to be, you know, acceptable, passable. No better or worse quality than anywhere else. I did want to check one other thing too. I'm curious about their thread. Did they use a bonded thread? Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, they did. Okay, they used a bonded thread on this. Does the thread melt or does it burn? Let's see. We'll find out. Melting versus burning is a big deal. Okay, yeah. Okay, see the bead? Can you see that? That little bead right there? Thread melted. Okay, that's stronger than, say, like cotton thread. That's going to be pretty much standard with any kind of leather sewing. Oh, forgot one. 15 parts. For not too terribly much more money, you can get into some better quality shoes. So this is going to be by the way, this is going to be a new type of video that I plan on doing. I have other pairs of shoes that I want to disassemble. And, you know, if you think I'm off base on these and my assessment of whatever... Oh, you know what? We didn't get back to these. We didn't get back to this. So this was sitting. And it's still relatively hard, but you can see that paper is now... That's what happens when you got your shoes in water. And it's not bad. I'm guessing that the glue that they used is probably some kind of... It's not a water-based glue, so it takes a good long while for that water to soak into that glue. So I guess it's alright. I mean, I know Allen Edmonds uses paper for their heel lifts as well, or heel blocks. It's not the end of the world, but whatever. I'd prefer leather, stacked leather, but if all you can get is paper, then I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to use. It does seem to be pretty impervious to water. Oh, another experiment I wanted to do since we're here. I wanted to check a couple of different things. I want to check this finish with naphtha, and this was another thing I wanted. I mean, not naphtha, acetone. Now I got a piece of a rag around here. Wanted to rub some acetone on here and see just how well this leather holds up to acetone. Does it melt? Well, it's pretty much like every other shoe out there. The finish comes off. I'm telling you, that's just... There is no leatherness, and that's sticky. We've made it past the... We've made it past the finish. And we're down to the leather itself, which should be leather itself. And I mean, the finish, the color's coming up, but it's almost like plastic. This feels like rubber. It has a rubbery feel to it. You hear that? Damn it. Oh. Didn't have this thing charging. I'm going to have to do this via the camera microphone again. I didn't have this thing charging long enough. So yeah, this actually has a very rubbery feel to it. Did they coat this leather out with rubber first? Is it a bonded leather? Is it not true leather? I don't know. If you know, write me a comment down below. But I mean, it's, after I've gone over it with acetone, I mean, it's pretty sticky. Can you hear that? It's just weird. It's almost like rubber. We've gotten down past the finish, but it's like it's not penetrating that almost rubbery portion of this. I wonder what would happen if I were to soak this piece of leather in, or this piece of material. I'm still not convinced this is full grain leather. What did their website call it again? Let's see, what did their website call it? Their website called it Genuine Leather Upper. Okay. I touched on this just a moment ago. The words mean things when it comes to construction of items. The word genuine leather does not have the same meaning as full grain leather or bonded leather or anything of the sort. So what does Wikipedia say? Come on, turn on tablet. What does Wikipedia say for the words genuine leather? We will pull this up. Come on, no, not Labor Day. I don't want Labor Day. Genuine leather. Oops. Hey. Genuine leather. Wiki. W-I-K-I. Search. Enter. Okay. It's taking it a minute. Okay, this is actually Business Insider. Usually found on the underside of a belt or inside a leather good, a product's leather quality will be stamped one of three things: genuine leather, top grain leather, or full grain leather. But what exactly do these terms mean? When you're buying your fancy leather briefcase, jacket, or shoes, you should know exactly what to look for in your leather. Since a cowhide is so thick, the layers are often cut and used to make different products. Genuine leather. Genuine leather doesn't mean that the product is made of real leather. Genuine leather doesn't just mean that the product is made of real leather, which it is, but it also means it's the lowest quality of all products made out of real leather. Basically, you should read it as, at least it's genuine leather. Genuine leather generally doesn't last as long or look as nice as higher quality leather. You'll typically find it in belts from mall stores, shoes from lower price department stores, and bags or other goods in the lower price range. Goods marked as genuine leather will be several layers of low quality leather bonded together with glue and then painted to look uniform. It's made from what is left over when the other higher grades are stripped away for pricier projects. Okay, so this is genuine leather. $1 million. Okay, genuine leather. So it's the lowest quality made. It's bonded together and finished out to look better than what it is. Okay. Is it a $90 shoe? Not in my book. I wouldn't buy them unless it's to buy them from Goodwill and tear them apart. Last little bit before I go. I get when I buy a pair of shoes, I buy a pair of shoes. I don't need to take apart two of them for you guys to see the exact same thing. This video is already long enough. So in the comments section below, please give me your suggestions as to what I can do with the second shoe. Can you think of another video that I can do? Can you think of another video I can do with that other shoe? And there's going to be more videos exactly like this one for other brands of shoes. So, until the next video, like, comment, subscribe. I need some comments, guys. Comment down below. and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I can't say it enough. I hate to beg you guys, but I'm begging. Anyway, till the next video, take care.